Good morning, classmate. Bakit ko, classmates, bakit ko sinabing good morning? Kasi it's already 3:40 in the AM. So, ito yung usual habit ko na nagpupuyat, which is very wrong. Huwag niyo akong gagayahin. As early as your first year, know your study habits and yung time management nyo. Napaka-importante yun sa course natin. So, I'm doing this for more or almost 2 decades na. No? So, mali yung study habits ko eh. So, ang proper ways of study habits and time management, matulog muna kayo, tapos magising kayo ng mga 4 a.m., 5 a.m., tapos saka kayo mag-aral. So, yun yung perfect time na refresh lahat. Kasi may kasabihan nga na parang computer din tayo, no? Pagka from rest, tapos inon yung computer, maayos lahat, mabilis mag-process. Same with our mind, mabilis mag-process at madali niyo mas maintindihan yung topic. So anyway, welcome again to my YouTube channel. So sa mga hindi pa nagsasubscribe, please do subscribe, like, and hit the bell para kung may bagong video ko i-upload, ma-update din kayo at ma-inform kayo. Okay, so mix up yung sa YouTube channel ko para sa second year and first year. So para magkaroon ng distinction, lalagyan ko ng differential calculus for the first year. Tapos differential equation naman for the second year. So as you see, as you have seen, or what you have seen on the screen is my book in differential calculus. So ito yung pangatlo kong ginawang book. Tapos yung integral naman yung ika-apat kong book. Okay, so I think we need to start discussing. Tapos, hindi ko bubuin ng 1 hour na kasi mahirap mag-upload ng video. So, let's proceed sa first topic or chapter 1, which is the limits. But before we proceed sa limits, okay, pag-usapan natin ulit yung function. So, sa mga strand na stem, so, na-discuss sa inyo to, babalikan na lang natin ulit. Okay, and sad to say naman sa mga hindi stem ng strand, so double effort kayo ha, kasi importante maintindihan nyo ng maayos yung calculus. Okay, so ano ba yung function? When two variables are so related that the value of the first variable depends on the value of the second variable, then the first variable is said to be a function of the second variable and the first variable as the dependent variable. So what does it mean? In every function or equation, laging sanay tayo na may dalawang variables na involved. Usually si x and y yun. No? So si y nasa kaliwa, left member, and si x naman nasa right member. So yung bawat isa doon may kanya-kanyang role. So may dependent o yung umaasa at si independent naman siya yung nagpapaasa para mas madali nyo maintindihan. But in this example, we'll let the formula of the area of the circle as our function or equation, where a is equals to pi r squared. So sa equation na to, a is the dependent variable and r is the independent variable, but not all the time. If we're going to reformat or reform the equation where r is equal to the square root of a over pi, so in this case, the area or a is now being the independent variable and r is the dependent variable. So may iba siya. So that's just the basic function of a function. Okay, now, if we're going to classify function, it has two classification. The first classification is, okay, move ko na to ha, is the algebraic function. Okay, ano ba yung algebraic function? Okay, algebraic function, a function which contains only algebraic terms and symbols. So, pag tayo magsasolve ng math problem, it can be actually an algebraic function. So, we need algebraic approach or methodologies. So, ano ba yung naka-include doon sa algebraic function na yon or yung methodologies? Meron doong, of course, yung variables, and yung mga laws or mga properties. Now, for example, yung mga properties or rule ng exponent, radicals, so how to simplify or reduce the expression in its lowest term, na merong factoring, special product. So, maraming rules doon na exclusive na gagamitin nyo lang para sa algebra. Okay, now, in transcendental function naman, it is different from algebraic. No? A non-algebraic that is not expressible by algebraic operation. Sa transcendental, hindi basta-basta pwedeng gamitan ng algebraic approach. Okay, pero pwede rin, no? Pero hindi basta-basta. May kanya-kanya kasi silang batas dyan. Sa algebraic function, never yung magagamit yung transcendental. Why? Ano ba meron sa transcendental? Nandoon yung 6 trigonometric functions like sine, cosine, tangent, etc. etc. Meron din doon yung inverse trigonometric function. Meron din doong logarithmic, exponential, then hyperbolic, inverse hyperbolic, and so on and so forth. So, may mga angles din na involved sa transcendental, which is hindi natin makikita or magagamit sa algebra. So, again, sa transcendental approach, we can apply algebraic, but again, case-to-case basis. But in algebraic function, we can never use transcendental function. Sa differential calculus in our subject, okay, we're going to divide it into two groups. The first is from the start up to the midterm exam, we're going to talk about algebraic functions. So, algebraic approach ang gagawin natin doon. But after midterm exam, going to the finals, before finals, ang pag-uusapan naman natin ay transcendental functions. Kaya yun yung mga trigonometric, inverse trigonometric. So, kailangan both functions or approach masters ninyo. Hindi lang basta-basta, ay magaling ako sa algebra, mahina sa trigo, or the other way around. Hindi pa pwede yun. Kasi sa end ng discussion natin or ng topic natin, pag nagbigay ako ng problem, kailangan you can apply, you know how to apply algebra, or pwede rin gamitan ng transcendental. So again, math's like a circle. There's no end, there's no start. Can start whenever on any point on the circle. Tapos doon ka rin pwedeng mag-end. So, there's so many solutions, but the answers are all the same. So, kaya parang circle siya. Okay? So, now we understand function. How about functional notation? Okay, the symbol f na may x is used to express a function. It's just telling us that f na may x is f of x. Okay, if the variable naman is y, it means the independent variable naman is y, so it's written f of y. So, yung f doon stands for the function, hindi pwedeng puro f lang. It can be any small letter. So, later, i-discuss din natin yan. Okay, the functional notation helps to make it simpler to denote higher degrees of the variable or whenever several complicated terms are involved. So, may mga time kasi na isusulat mo sa equation, mahaba or complex, medyo mahirap. It's better to write it in a functional notation. Now, for instance, consider the formula again for the area of the circle, where A is equals to pi r squared. So, if I'm going to write it in a formula way or formula form, yun. But if I'm going to apply it in a functional notation, we can write it as A is equals to f of r, denoting that r, okay, is the independent variable, and we can say that A is a function of r. Kaya A is equals to f of r. Okay, in general, okay, ibig sabihin sa lahat ng libro, no? If there is a relationship between two variables x and y, madalas yun ang ginagamit nating variable, such that for the value of x, there is corresponds a value of y. Since si y ang madalas na sa kaliwa, siya yung magiging dependent variable. Dumidepende kay x. Then y is said to be a function of x, and we can write it as y is equals to f of x. Again, hindi lang basta f, no? Pwede rin g. Kaya yung letters f and g or any small letter, it can symbolize the function. Okay, and in function, yung value ng independent variable can be replaced by any constant. Okay, let's say a is a constant. So replacing x into a, so we can write this as f of a or g of a. Now, for example, si a constant na 2. So magiging f of 2 or g of 2. So ganun lang kasimple yung function and the functional notation. Later on, i-apply naman natin yan doon sa limits. But before we go to the function of limits, ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng limits? So, applying limits first on the variable. If a variable is made to approach a certain value at its limits, so ibig sabihin, papaabutin lang natin doon sa number na pinaka-close. For example nga, 2. Pero hindi siya pwedeng mag-equals sa 2. Yun naman yung limits. Lilimitahan ko na malapit ka na sa 2, pero hindi ka pwedeng umabot sa 2. So, pwedeng from a bigger number down to the small number, or from a smaller number up to the bigger number, no, pataas at pababa. Okay, in all of the books in calculus, ang ina-apply natin yung pataas, no, mula sa baba pataas. Never nating ina-apply yung pataas pababa. Pero pwedeng gamitin din yon. To avoid confusion or pagkalito, i-apply natin yung pataas na number. So, a variable is made to approach a certain value as its limit, although there is always a small difference between the variable and its limit. So, ano ibig sabihin nung sinasabing yon? Okay, so ibig sabihin, if a is the limit of x, no, sabi ko kanina, kung halimbawa si a ay 2, palalapitin natin si x kay 2, pero hindi pwedeng mag-equals kay 2. Anong value yon? Mula sa mababa pataas. 1.99, no? Halimbawa from 0, 0.5, 1, pataas ng pataas, 1.5, 1.8, 1.9, 1.9999999. Pero hindi siya pwedeng mag-equals kay 2, no? May reason siya. One good thing, or kung one of the reason kung bakit ko in-idolize si Isaac Newton, kasi yung level of thinking niya, no, may mga naiisip siya mga bagay na halos baliwala na sa atin. Kasi sasabihin natin, pwede nang i-round off yan. Bakit ba natin kailangan pang tingnan, napakaliit lang naman na bagay na yan. Pero si Newton hindi. Yung maliit na bagay na yon, yun yung naging dahilan pa kung bakit nabago ang mundo. No, ganun ka-brilliant yung mind ni Newton. So, ito yung i-explain natin dito sa calculus. Okay, since a or x approaches to a, so pag sinubtract natin yung 2 sa 1.99999, halos equals na yun sa 0. But never be equals to 0 kasi there is always a small difference. Yung napakaliit ng dahilan na yon or difference na yun yung malaking bagay na nagbago sa mundo. So let's say x minus a is equals to rho, parang rho symbol to, Greek alphabet or letter, where the rho may be very small, almost 0, but not equals to 0. Napaka-importante ng bagay na yon. Values of x, like what I said, may comes from small to larger so that it approaches a positive. Ito yung ina-apply ngayon natin. Or may also comes from large to smaller value, papaliit. So, hindi natin kukunin yung papaliit, no? Yung papalaki ang gagawin ngayon natin. Now, here is the explanation by using the table kung ano yung ibig sabihin ng limits. But yung limits of a variable, i-adapt ngayon natin doon sa function. No, katulad kanina, okay, may variable tayo. Yung variable, in-equals natin sa exact value. Tapos, in-apply natin sa function. So, magkakaroon na ng value si function. So, gagawin ngayon natin ulit yon, but this time, meron ng limits. I-apply natin yung limits ng variable doon sa function. Ano kaya mangyayari? So, if x approaches a certain limit a, so yun yung limits of a variable, then, a function of x will also approach a certain value, let's say small letter L. So, kung may nangyayari kay limits of a variable, may epekto yon kay function. F of x will most equal to L, but there is always be a small difference between the function and the value na small letter L. So, kung isusubtract ko rin yung original na function minus yung pinakasagot, equals rin kay very small value. Let's say, sabihin naman natin epsilon para may iba. Na function to, hindi siya variable. Na si epsilon ay napakaliit din na halos equals din kay 0. So, if that is the case, we can rewrite the function by applying its limits to another form, another notation. So, if L is the limit of f of x, hangganan naman ni function, kung si x ay papunta kay a, or if x approaches a. So, it can be written as what? The limits, sulat ko lang, wait, bakit tayo sumulat? Oh, sorry. Yan. Wait lang. Yan. That the limit of f of x is L as x approaches to a. So, ayun ang ibig sabihin nun. Again, that the limit of the function is L as x approaches to a. So, ito ngayon yung magiging explanation ngayon natin. Kung si function, let's say 3x plus 1. Okay? Ngayon, si x papalitan natin ng 2 but can never be equals to 2 kasi limits ang pag-uusapan ngayon natin. Pero pwedeng si 2 ay gagawin natin, no? Palalakihin natin from a smaller number papunta sa bigger number. From 1.5, 1.89, 1.999. Pero hindi natin papaabutin ng 2. Okay, let's say ito si 2. Kulitan ko lang. Yan, ito si 2. Okay, ganun din. From a bigger number, paliliitin din natin papunta kay 2, no? From 2.05, hindi ko na lang sinulat yung mas malaki, 2.009, 2.00001, okay, papunta kay 2. Ano ngayon mangyayari kay function? Ano mangyayari ngayon dito kay function? Nung si x ay 1.5, si function ay 5.5. So, ibig sabihin si x, papalitan natin. So, 3 times x plus 1, ang magiging sagot ay 5.5. So, nung si x ay naging 1.89, si function naging 6.67. Nung si x ay naging 1.99 na malapit kay 2, si function naging 6.997. So, hindi pa natin na-reveal, no, kung ano nangyayari. Same thing kung sa malaking number, pinalitan natin si x, naging 7.15. So, kung papansinin naman natin na habang lumiliit si 2, kasi papaliit nga, si 7, paliit din ng paliit si function. Hanggang, kung titingnan natin yung 6.997 at 7.027, may tinutumbok na number in common habang papunta kay 2. So, pwede natin i-assume na siya ay papunta kay 7. So, if that is the case, applying the limits, it shows that when x is near 2, papalapit kay 2, either mula sa malaki, papaliit, or mula sa maliit, papalaki, yung function daw na 3x plus 1 ay papunta naman kay 7. So applying the limits, it means that 3x plus 1 approaches the number 7 as a limit when x is equals to 2. Okay, yun yung ibig sabihin doon. Okay, so next page tayo muna. And, okay, so ano ibig sabihin? 3x plus 1 approaches to 7 as x approaches to 2. Kung a-apply ng limits. So, ibig sabihin, again, the limits of the function, ano yung function? 3x plus 1 as x approaches to 2 is 7. So, yun yung ibig sabihin. So, if we're going to rewrite it using limits, ito na yung mangyayari. Or, limits of the function, ito yung f of x, is 7 as x approaches to 2. So, hindi si x equals to 2, si limits of a function ay equals kay 7 kasi doon papunta. So, the first thing sa differential calculus na kailangan aralin is the theorem on limits. So, dyan kasi pinaka nagsimula ang differential calculus. So, kailangan natin alamin ano-ano ba yung theorem or law or batas sa pag-a-apply ng limits. Hindi kasi basta-basta yan direct substitution. So, that will be our next topic. So, that will be the topic number 2. Topic 2. Napuputulin ko na muna yung video na to para hindi mahirap i-upload. Tapos, proceed tayo agad sa topic number 2. So, again, subscribe, like, and hit the bell para ma-update kayo sa mga videos na papanoorin ninyo. Okay, so see you on topic number 2. So we're going to discuss limits. Okay, thank you for watching.